Hi, I'm Ben from this show, and you're watching Disney Channel. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. Seatbelt, because it's the law. Hope everyone is having a good week. Almost the end. It's Wednesday today, which means it'll be Thursday when you watch this. But regardless of the day, we're starting off strong. Question right off the bat. Would you rather be a cockroach? First time I've done that. Gotta protect, it's really sunny out today. But would you rather be a cockroach for 1 week or be chased by a man-sized cockroach for 1 hour? So, I don't like bugs at all. Hate bugs, stink bugs, spiders, cockroaches, anything that crawls, that flies, that's small, that can get into areas that they're not supposed to be in. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. So, like 2 weeks into me moving here, in my shower, the one morning I went to go take a shower, there was a giant cockroach. Like, ugh, I picked it up. First I smashed it with my flip-flop. Sorry, PETA. Come at me, I don't care. But I smashed it with my flip-flop, and then I picked it up with toilet or paper towel, threw it in the trash. I've luckily not seen one since, but everyone says that in Texas, where it's like really hot, and then in the winter it's not as hot, so they like warm like climates like this, that they're all around here. So I'm not excited to see another one, but I think that being a cockroach for a week versus trying to fight one off, like, they're strong. Like, they, depending on the different type of cockroach, I guess, they can like chew through wood. They can kill other small bugs. I don't know if they have to have sharp teeth if they can chew through wood. So I think that even just 1 hour of trying to like escape one, running from one, they have like 8 legs. They have multiple legs, so they would be fast, I'm sure. They'd be able to cover a lot of ground. It'd basically be like getting chased by a crocodile or alligator. Like, you know how they can like run? They're about that same size. And okay, that's unnecessary. Oh no. Guys, this is the first official time we're going to be stopped for a long time. I think it's a funeral. It's something. I don't know how many cars there are. We have the green, but I think that we're good now. Okay, never mind. It must not have been a funeral. Anyway, see what happens. So I think that I'm going to be a cockroach. Be the size of a cockroach. Be a cockroach for 1 week. Because I think that you can move around. You can hide. If I had like the same like intelligence as what I do now, just as the size of a cockroach, being a cockroach, I think that I could survive. It would just be like, go as long as you can, hiding in different places. If you get found, then you try and run away and go. But I think that I could survive for 1 week versus trying to fight off a giant cockroach. I think that eventually it would wear you out. Its whole entire life is spent burrowing and trying to survive, and you bear the elements and use what it can to thrive, and it's gonna get you. It's gonna get me. I don't think that I would beat a life-size cockroach. But being down here, maybe they're different. Maybe they're not as strong as they are up north because the conditions aren't as bad. Maybe regionally they are different. I'm not sure, but something's been on my chest for a while, for many, many years now, and I didn't want to start this show off super heavy. I wanted to ease into it a little bit before I confess this, but I think that the time has finally come. There's a big confession that I have to make. It's not one that I'm proud of. I think that the statute of limitations, I think I can exercise that if that's something that you do. I don't think that I can get in any legal trouble for this anymore. I hope that I don't get in trouble for this, but here it goes. It's a story, so bear with me. If you know anything about me, you know that my stories can take years to explain, but I'm going to try and make this one short and sweet because we got some other stuff I want to get into. Back in high school, whenever I was bored, I would play games on my iPad, on my phone, and for the most part, they were free games. Just play like Flappy Bird or Angry Birds or whatever games I could get. There was one that I played called Ryder. Still played it on the plane like a month ago, and they're all free. Just play them. Sometimes you get ads, sometimes the ads don't work, whatever. But there was one game in particular, you may have been in a stranglehold by this game, Tap Sports Baseball. I played Tap Sports Baseball for many years. Every year they would come out with a new one, and you would always get the update. All the new players would be on different teams, all the stats would be updated. Regardless, whenever I was in high school, I didn't have my own credit card or debit card. I did, but I didn't have money in it because I didn't work whenever I was in high school. And so I figured that if I needed something, I would ask my parents and they would supply me with their debit cards, bank cards, whatever. If I needed to buy something, that if I did it online, I would have their debit card to use if it was something that I needed. Well, I'm pretty good with numbers, and math has always been a strong suit of mine, and I can remember things weirdly. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I remembered one of my parents' debit card numbers, all 16 on the front, the expiration, and the security code. And one day, I put that into my Apple ID, and I started out small. I just bought a pack of players on Tap Sports Baseball. I think it was gold that you bought. I think that if you bought gold, you could use that and exchange it for players, certain tiers of players, certain stars of players. I remember it was like 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, and started small. And back then, I had convinced my parents that we all needed to upgrade our iCloud for like 99 cents a month, so that my parents took a lot of pictures, I took pictures, whatever, music. It all made sense. I had thought it out. And so when they saw the charge, they were like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's probably just the iCloud charge that we do every month so that we have more space." No questions asked. Easy. Felt good. I'd been playing for a little bit longer. Well, they would do challenges, and in a weekend it was like, win so many games and you'll get this player, or you'll get this boost, or whatever. I think everyone's gonna see where this is going. And so I would do one more, $4.99, another $4.99, a $9.99, and I would play it off as I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know, does it say Apple? Does it say what it is? Sometimes we would watch movies. My mom and I, we would watch movies, or my sisters, we'd watch movies on the weekend or whatever. So I would be like, oh, well, we had to rent that movie. That's where that came from. When in reality, again, I don't think I can get in trouble for this, but I would just pirate the movie. I would just go on to 1, 2, 3 movies, and we'd watch it, and then I would play that off as that was us renting the movie. So it was quiet for a while. I had used my team. I was kind of over it. And then there was this, I don't remember what it was exactly. It's hazy to me because I've tried to block this out because there's a lot of guilt, which is why I'm telling the entire internet right now. But I made a $49.99 purchase on Tap Sports Baseball, and my parents saw it on their debit card statement, and I had to just be like, it may have been by accident, it may have been me. I was just looking for something. I wasn't trying to purchase it. And I know it's bad. I know it's not great, but I did it, and they can only be mad at themselves for giving birth to someone that has such a good memory and can remember numbers and can be strategic about how they talk and how they get themselves out of situations. So they can't be mad at me. They can only be mad at them. So long story short, I used my parents' money to progress in a game that I haven't played in like 4 or 5 years. So Mom, Dad, if you see this, I'm sorry. Legally, I am not confessing to anything. So yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for supporting me and all the things that I do. Thanks for being great parents. So anyway, I talked about my weird memory, and being in Texas, going to school where there's a lot of people from different places, I see a lot of license plates. And driving from Pennsylvania down here, you see a lot of license plates. Like I said, I think I've said this before, I have been to Washington and Oregon and saw some cool license plates there. And I have an unofficial official ranking of my top 5. I have some reasoning for it, so it's not just like willy-nilly. These are only license plates that I've seen in person, so not ones that I've just like looked up and ranking the top 50 in order, but these are ones that I have seen in person. So I haven't seen every single state, but I've seen a lot of them, and these are the ones I think are the best. So I wrote them down because I had to make sure that I had them in the right order. I didn't want to just think about them from memory. Coming in at number 5, Colorado. I see a lot of Colorado now because there are some people that go to school here that are from Colorado, but I think they're like green, what I assume to be green. I think it's like a greenish brown, with the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, just really, really solid. It's not doing too much. It's easy to read. It shows what they're all about. Colorado is all about the mountains. Coming in at number 4, South Carolina. I think that the like crescent moon with the palm tree, I think it's a palm tree. South Carolinians, don't come at me if it's not a palm tree. I think it just such a clean look. Again, the contrast, the color with the white, really nice. Number 3, Oregon. Again, I think I'm a sucker for like nature and trees, but Oregon, they have that tree. I don't know what type of tree it is. It's some type of like pine, maybe. That's what I do when I go through yellow lights. I don't know why. It's just a weird thing that I do, but I don't know if it's a type of like pine tree or what type of tree it is. It could be a western hemlock. I'm not sure. I love western hemlocks. We'll get into that in a second. But Oregon, solid design. I like the font of their state, what they write on it. And number 2, New Mexico. So a lot of people are probably going to immediately say like, ooh, New Mexico. Like, that's so obscure. That's so random. But listen, go look it up. In fact, I'll probably just put them all on the screen because that'll be fun. But I don't know if all of them, there's like a new one that has the chilies, the 2 red and green chilies on it, but I think that that's all of them. I don't know if it's old or new or if that's like a vanity one, but anyway, the regular one, it has like a light blue with yellow. That contrast, so good. So good. I knew someone from New Mexico whenever I was in Texas 5 years ago, and he got a new like Mini Coupe. His dad works for a Mini Coupe dealership, and he got a new Mini Coupe and drove back to campus. And I just remember seeing it and being like, that is a sick license plate. And that leads me to my number 1 best license plate of the ones I've ever seen in my life. Washington. Not Washington, D.C., the state of Washington. And the reason that it is because there's a personal connection to the state. It's Mount Rainier is on their license plate. Mount Rainier is my tattoo. I drew this. It's an outline of Mount Rainier, and a western hemlock, which is the state tree of Washington. They're beautiful, and I just think that it's like snowy. Mount Rainier has snow on it on the license plate, and it just, every time I see it, it takes me back to driving up, parking, climbing, being like 10,000 feet above sea level on the side of this mountain, just being able to see out all over as far as I could, and the sun shining. It was just such a beautiful time. Anyway, that's why Washington is my number one. I also think that it just has a nice aesthetic to it. It's almost calming. But back to the memory. See, I have a good memory to remember why I thought about license plates in the first place. Well, in 4th grade, so I'm 23 now, and I was, 9 years old in 4th grade. So almost 15 years ago, 4th grade every year, Mr. Saylor's class, St. Thomas Elementary, 4th graders always went to Harrisburg, the state capital, for a field trip. And on this trip, you ride in a big yellow bus, you go all the way up to Harrisburg. Well, for some odd reason, I remember sitting in the back of the bus on this trip, and a red Jeep, a Jeep Cherokee, one of the old ones, drives by, and for some reason, I remembered the license plate, and it was a Pennsylvania license plate, and the letters, the first 3 letters and last 4 digits, I still remember them to this day. I don't know why. It's FVP 2460. I don't know why I remember it. I don't know if maybe someday it's going to be an OJ situation and they're going to need to identify like the license plate of a random car, or what the situation is going to be. But FVP 2460 stays in my mind. Pennsylvania plate, red Jeep Cherokee from back in the day, one of the like really boxy looking ones. So if you're out there and you drove a red Jeep Cherokee in the late 2000s and your license plate was FVP 2460, don't commit any crimes, because I don't want to be subpoenaed. I don't want to have any hand in whatever crime you committed or any type of court situation. So take my advice, stay clean. Don't kill anyone. Don't try any white gloves on. Don't do anything suspicious that might wind up in me needing to give some information that I don't want to give. So I hope you guys don't lose faith in me for taking money from my parents. I would love to know if you guys would rather be a cockroach for 1 week, or if you'd try and survive 1 hour with a man-sized cockroach that's trying to kill you. If you have a good memory, let me know what your favorite license plates are. I'm not going to say my most boring ones, because I don't want anyone to come at me. But I have a definitive list of the 5 worst license plates that I've seen as well. I think vanity plates don't count. So if you get a custom plate, whether it's something like the actual plate is different or the letters or numbers you designed it, that doesn't count. That's cheating. Obviously, anyone can have the coolest license plate if you're given free reign to just choose it. But last but not least, I didn't really hit a lot of red lights today. If I did, I was probably really busy talking to you guys. So we're going to go ahead and do this. That's a good one. Take a guess at what flavor you think it is. I won't drink it yet. I'll give you guys a chance. I hope you enjoyed today. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. I'll talk at you tomorrow. Same place. Maybe same time if you wake up early and watch my videos, or if you just turn them on at the same time every day. But if not, I'll be here waiting for you. So here you go. Flavor reveal. Tangerine. It's a really good one. Have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment. Go to my TikTok if you want. I love you guys.